Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today's video, like I said in my showcasing artifacts video, today's video I'm going to be showcasing all the new armors and weapons and course bridge. First, let's start off with the onion things like down here. First of all, we have the shulker armor. This shulker armor is pretty cool. It deflects enemy projectiles, takes less damage when swarmed, which is the thrive under pressure. But it also has mobs target you more. Now, that's a bit bad in my opinion, but I think take less damage when swarmed is actually what actually works well with that mobs target you more. Like mobs target you more like thing. Okay. Next armor we have the Entertainer's Grab, I'm pretty sure. Health potions heal nearby allies, which is pretty cool because of course, health potions here by nearby allies. It's always good for multiplayer games. Then it has 30 plus positive status effect duration. Now I have no idea what that means, but I think maybe when you get a positive status effect, like what do you call that? Like strength, it'll like give it plus 30 more seconds. No, not 30 more seconds, but like 30% of that duration. Okay, the next armor is this armor down here. Over here it is Teleportation Rooms. Now the Teleportation Rooms are pretty cool because look, they don't actually teleport, but it's pretty cool. Like you roll and then you roll faster. Like this, it kind of go in this for a second, but if you do it on the ring ground, kind of looks like you're rolling, but not really. Anyways, this also has 50 plus souls gathered, which is good. Like it's a soul build. I think Teleportation Robes is maybe a variant of the soul robe, so it makes sense to have that 50 plus soul gathered. But roll teleport is always a cool effect that I would say is one of my favorite things. And this armor is also one of my favorite armors. Alright, let's move into the unique variants of the armors. First up, for the unique variant First up, for the unique variant of this shulker armor, we have the sturdy shulker armor. Now, sturdy shulker armor has all the same effects, but it says you can fire shulker projectiles at nearby enemies. Now, this actually makes the enemies float and literally come back down. But the problem is it doesn't do a lot of damage when it does. Anyways, then it hits the mobs, they go up, but they don't take lots of fall damage. This over here, the fire sturdy projectiles and nearby enemies is pretty good for like distraction and stuff, but ain't actually good maybe for in general videos. Anyways, for the next unique variant, it's the unique variant of the Entertainer's Grab. It is the Troubadour. It is minus 30 negative status effect duration. So pretend you get poison, it'll minus 30% of that time. So if you get 3 second poison, you'll get 2. It also has the same effects as the Enchanter's Grab, like the health potions heal nearby allies, and the 30 plus positive status effect duration. Next up, unique variant of the Teleportation Robe is the Unstable Robe. And this is also one of my favorites because as you can see, I can roll and do teleport. But this has an even better effect. Open up my inventory, it says, roll to teleport, and you trigger an explosion when you teleport. So like, it actually blows up. So where you teleport, it blows up like this. Like if you pretend this is a mob, and it does that. Oh, moving on to the if you get negative status effect, it will minus. Anyways, let's move on to the melee weapons. But before we do that, be sure to like and subscribe. We're almost at I'm trying to aim for at least 150 subs by the end of this year. So please do a favor and help me make that red sub button. It's great. Anyways, let's pick this up, the sturdy shulker armor. As you can see, it's actually a small shulker guy. It's actually I think the inner part. So it's kind of a bit weird, but it's pretty cool. Like it'll hit the target dummy, but since it's target dummy, it's considered a mob. It won't actually work. Anyways, let's move on to the melee weapons. First up, the first melee weapon that is pretty cool in my opinion is the Obsidian Player. Now, it's a powerful combo, but the only problem that I think it's pretty slow. But first let's actually check out its effects. So it's a very powerful combo. You can see. And its attacks are very strong, like 58,000 damage. which has like a little higher difficulty. But it's very slow, that's why I don't use it. But in general, I think it's a very powerful weapon that you should obviously use. Anyways, moving on to the next melee weapon, it is the Voided Touch Blades. Now, it applies the rising damage multiplier, which I don't actually know. So please do comment down in the comments below what you think, what the applies rising damage multiplier is. Anyways, it's pretty fast. It has void switch. So, rising damage multiplier is void switch. Okay, so it actually has void switch. Void switch naturally enchanted, as you can see. So it's pretty fast. Has a void strike enchantment. I think it's one of the best melee weapons with the NDLC. But I think the Obsidian Claymore is still a bit strong. Anyways, the last the last non-unique melee weapon is down here. It is, where is it? The Backstabber. It's a cool name. Like, yeah, it's a cool name, the Backstabber. It has extra damage on unsuspecting enemies. So if you do shadow, if you use a shadow, will do extra damage, like a critical hit or something. See, it's called ambush. And you can keep doing it until it runs out. So it's pretty good, like lots of crits and stuff. Like, this is probably one of the best melee weapons, probably the best, because it does those like crazy crits. So I think I definitely recommend using it with this shadow shifter down there. The shadow shifter and this Backstabber make a great combo. Alright, let's move on to the what do you call that? Oh yeah, the melee weapons. For the Obsidian Claymore, wait a second. Wait, it's not here, but because I'm upgrading it. But it's called the Starless Knight. Now, as you can see, it's a cool design. I can't actually read it, sadly, because it's in the upgraded thing. But I'm pretty sure it has some effects. Let me go check. It's called the Starless Knight. Unique variant. Starless Knight, yes. It has... It's a unique variant of the Obsidian Claymore, and you can get it from like any of the other merchants. It's basically like the Obsidian Claymore, but it has a unique enchantment that I forgot. But I will be showcasing it soon after. Okay. Anyways, moving on to unique variant of these, the Void Touch Blades. Anyways, it is called the Beginning and the End, which is a pretty funny name, and I like the name personally. The Beginning and the End. So one of them's the beginning and one of them is the end. It leeches health from mobs and applies that rising damage multiplier. It's a leeching health from mobs. The leeching enchantment's a pretty decent enchantment, but I do think it could be swapped for a more powerful enchantment, maybe like some kind of end enchantment. Void Strike as well, I don't know. Alright, moving on to our last melee weapon, it is the Swift Striker, I'm pretty sure. And it's a unique variant of the Backstabber. And it does extra damage on unsuspecting enemies, and sometimes strikes twice. Now, this is a very overpowered enchantment, because it's gonna be like strike crits like crazy. So I definitely recommend using this. It's gonna be striking crits like crazy. So if you want to do some levels on higher difficulty, I definitely recommend using this. I don't know, but in my opinion, I definitely use it on higher difficulties, but not as often. Anyways, moving on to our ranged weapons. First off, let's check out this ranged weapon, the Shadow Crossbow. Now, the Shadow Crossbow has like amount of range damage. The chance of shadow form on kills. So if you pretend you kill a mob, you'll get granted shadow form. So listen. So this works well with this as well as this. So these three make a crazy combo, and I definitely recommend using all three of them together. Anyways, moving on to our next ranged weapon. It is Void Bow. Now the Void Bow applies a rising damage multiplier, which is the same as Void Strike. Yeah, it just has the Void Strike, which it's okay. I mean, like it's it's good but not so good. But it's a unique variant, the Call of the Void, which I will showcase right here, is better. Yeah, as you can see, I'll showcase some stuff. First of all, it looks cooler in design, and has actually chance for arrows to explode. So after Void Touch, it'll blow up. Like that's good. And if you enchant with something like multi-shot or supercharge or burst bowstring, it will make it like this bow like insanely crazy. Anyways, I think this bow is okay, so, but like I think there are definitely better bows. But okay, move on to our last unique variant. I don't actually have it. It's the unique variant of the Shadow Crossbow. I've not found it, sadly. It is called the Revealed Crossbow. Now, I haven't seen any of the abilities, but it seems like it is similar to this. Anyways, I actually go showcase the Backstabber, so let me go upgrade it. Okay, so my Starless Knight isn't done upgrading, but while I returned from one of my missions, I actually found this, the Revealed Crossbow. Now, it has the same abilities as down here, the Shadow Crossbow, but it also has the first shot won't break the shadow form. So if I shoot a mob using this and I turn to shadow, like pretend I can turn to shadow, my first shot won't break the shadow form. So I can still stay in shadow form a little longer and then I can attack. So I think this ability is an okay ability, but I'm pretty sure you can, it's like okay. To me it's okay. Like, it's a good ability, but like first shot, like you're gonna shoot multiple times anyway. So unless you have like maybe 3 of these, then it might like actually work. But anyways, I think this crossbow is an okay crossbow. It's like that effect. It's just not that this effect is just not that like good like to me. Anyways, I'm gonna go back and finish the mission so I can get the Starless Knight. I'll be back soon. Alright. Here I've got the Starless Knight, and let's check it out. Its abilities. It came out as a 160 Starless Knight, and also, let's see what abilities it has. So it has a powerful combo like the Obsidian Player. It also has 2 special effects. It has access damage, hits nearby mobs. Now let's go test that. So if I hit, so let's say, if I slam it down here, some of the, okay, there you go, see. If I slam it down toward this mob, it didn't actually hit the mob, but the extra damage would whack it. So I say it's good if you're dealing with lots of crowds of mobs. I definitely recommend using this with a Death Cat Mushroom. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty good, powerful, unique weapon. The access damage is neat, so I definitely recommend using Death Cat Mushroom or something that will increase the attack speed with the Starless Knight. Anyways, yeah, now I'll just showcase some builds that I definitely recommend. Now, I recommend using the Sturdy Shelf Armor with the Split Striker and the Revealed Crossbow. And the Revealed Crossbow and the Artifact should just be these 3. Alright, for the next one, I recommend using the Call of the Wild with the Troubadour and then our Starless Knight. Then also the artifacts, I recommend also using maybe, I don't know, a random selection of your own artifacts, maybe a Void Quiver or not, I don't know. Okay, for the last build, I think it should be, where are that daggers? With our, here are unstable robes, and for the bow, just keep the Call of the Void bow. Now, yeah, that's it for today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. More content is definitely coming soon, so yeah. Alright, peace out, and see you all next time. Goodbye. Be sure to subscribe.